In Microsoft Excel, there are many options how you can calculate the arithmetic mean of a variable. For instance, there is the average formula existing, but there's also the AVERAGEA formula function existing, also the AVERAGEIF formula function existing, and AVERAGEIFS. And those formulas, we will have a look at it in this video. So let's directly jump into Excel. So as you can see, I already have prepared a simple data set with the two variables, country and revenue. So let's directly start with a simple average, and we can just say we want to calculate an average, and we can already see here the description. The average returns the average, so the arithmetic mean, of course, of its arguments, which can be numbers or names, arrays, or references that contains numbers. So let's calculate a simple average. Of course, we only can apply it for numerical data such as the revenue, and the overall arithmetic mean of the revenue is 800. So there is also existing, besides the simple average formula, the AVERAGEIF formula. And the AVERAGEIF formula is interesting if we have a criterion, and therefore we can have a look at our categorical data, especially at the unique values. And for this, we can copy it and insert those numbers here. And then we can already see that US is existing here, but as well here, and also here the attribute, or Germany here and there as well. And then we can say we want to select everything by pressing Ctrl A, but only for the categorical attributes. Then we can say data and remove duplicates. And with it, we can remove the duplicates because some of those attributes are appearing more than once. And then we can say we want to remove those, but only for column F, of course. And then we can see 11 duplicate values found and removed, and 8 unique values remain here. And then we can apply the AVERAGEIF formula function for those arguments, because as we can see, we can find an average for the cells specified by a given condition. And then we can also press the tab key. And as you can see, I also can press the F1 key in order to have here a help for it. And then we have here a new window, a new dialog, where we can read also the description of the formula function, also remarks or a specific example. And we can actually do the same with the median. So let's have a look at our example, because we can say what is the range of it. We can say this is the range of our categorical attributes. Then we want to somehow calculate the average only for the US revenues. So this is our criteria. And our average range, of course, has to be numerical, because we can only calculate the average, so the arithmetic mean for numerics. And as you can see, I already calculated here the average only for the attribute US country. Then we can press F4, of course, to apply it as well for the other countries. And this is here already our AVERAGEIF formula function. We can also format this, so by pressing Ctrl and space, then we can select the entire column, and then you can press Ctrl Shift and 1 in order to format it appropriately. But you can also use this click button comma style, and we want to say that we want to show fewer decimal places than actually. So this is the AVERAGEIF formula function, and now we want to also have a look at the AVERAGEA formula function. So first of all, let's start with the count formula function. Why count? Because then we can first have a look at how many attributes we have. So if we apply it here with the count formula function, then you can see that we have in total 8 values. But what would be if we would have an NA value? Then of course we only have 7 values. But with count A for sure, then we do not have 7 values in total, but we will have 8, because now we also include this null value. So this would be a not available value or a null value. And as you can see, we anyway have 8 results. And this is of course important once we would calculate the sum of it. So the sum of those would be in both cases the same, of course, but our base for dividing, so for calculating the average by saying the sum divided by our values in total, so the number of it, then we have of course a different result. And this is also how AVERAGEA works. So we can say calculate the average of this, but consider also that we have a null value, and as you can see, both values for sure are the same. In the end, I also want to illustrate you the AVERAGEIFS formula function. So just imagine that we also have another variable like the year, and then we can give in some years like 2024 for instance, and also here are the values or the revenue numbers of 2025. And then we can say by AVERAGEIF as that we have not only one criteria or condition, we have 2 or more. So then we can say AVERAGEIFS finds the average for the cell specified by a given set of conditions, so more conditions or criteria. Then we can say what is the average range. Of course it is numeric, this is the revenue as you can see. Then we can say what is the criteria range 1, this is here for our countries. And then after we can give a specific attribute, so we could say that one attribute should be here the country, and the other should be here the year, so for 2024. And as you can see, if I apply it appropriately for it with the criteria US, so for the country, and then the criteria range 2 for the year, like 2024, then I have now a new average calculated. And then I also want to apply it, of course, for the other values. For it, I have to press F4 to make this array fixed as well as this, and then you can apply it for the other values. And as you can see, also we do not have revenue numbers for Hungary or Spain. So you could also say that you also in addition want to use an if error formula function. So if there is an error appearing like here, like divided by a 0 error, then we just want to show the numerical value 0, or we want to have an empty string like this, and this would be possible as well. So in the end, I also want to present you another method. Of course, it would be also implementable with a pivot table, so you can also use a multi-dimensional analysis for it. We could say we want to place it in this existing worksheet or in a new worksheet. I say here now in a new worksheet, and then I can firstly pull the countries into the rows, then I have all the unique values, and then I can also pull the revenue into the values. I can format it also like this, and then you can also say I do not want to have the sum of it, I want to show the average, and as you can see we also calculated the average of our revenues. And this would be also of course possible by also including the second categorical variable like the year, and then we also have calculated here the average of it. Of course you can make it like you want, so you can also make a switch of it, and then you have pretty much the same results. Maybe you're wondering what means this here. I just told him here by clicking on pivot table options, I want to show a specific attribute or text for empty cells, but I can also say I do not want to show it like this. Then we would have this div text, but you can also change it here by clicking on this and then just say you want to show nothing or the value 0. As you can see, there are many options how you can calculate an average in Excel, and mainly now we are aware of those formula functions AVERAGEIF, AVERAGEA, and AVERAGEIFS.